Welcome back to Football Daily for a look at 10 records that could be broken or have already been beaten this season across the world of football. Let's go. 10. The longest unbeaten run in international football. 2021 was Italy's year. Not only did they win the European Championship, their first triumph in the tournament since 1968, but they also set a new record in international football, hitting 37 games unbeaten that September. It beat previous records set by all-time great Brazil and Spanish sides. But just over 1 year later, and the Azzurri's feat could be about to be bettered, with Lionel Scaloni's Argentina entering the World Cup in outrageously good form. Since taking over the Albiceleste in 2018, the former Lazio wingback has lost just 4 times in his first senior managerial position, and at the time of recording has gone 35 games unbeaten, a run that included a triumph at last year's Copa America, the nation's first major silverware since 1993. With a friendly against the UAE scheduled before the tournament in Qatar, they just need to come through that gate and their opening 2 group fixtures against Saudi Arabia and Mexico unscathed to set a new record for an international team. 9. Koke. In this day and age, one club legends are a dying breed. Bayern's Thomas Müller and Athletic Club's Ethan Nwaneri headline the remaining group, along with Sergio Busquets, who has made more than 680 appearances for Barcelona. Atletico Madrid star Koke is also part of the one club gang. In fact, the Spanish midfielder has been so loyal to Atleti, he can now call himself their highest appearance maker ever. The Spanish international broke that record on October the 1st away at Sevilla. It took him to 554 appearances for Atleti, eclipsing the iconic Adelardo Rodriguez in the process. It's an incredible achievement by Koke and testament to his fitness and professionalism that he's still only 30. As since 2011, the academy graduate has averaged 47 games a season for Los Rojiblancos and only missed a maximum of 6 games at a time with injury. Koke has plenty more to celebrate too. He's won La Liga twice, earned 67 caps for Spain, reached 2 Champions League finals and claimed 2 Europa League titles. His record is well deserved, and with plenty more years in the tank, it's quite possible it will never be beaten. 8. Harry Kane. Provided that his body holds up, Harry Kane will almost certainly become the top scorer in Tottenham Hotspur history this season. At the time of writing, Kane sits on 258 goals in 400 appearances for the club, incredible in itself. And this puts the 29-year-old just 9 shy of the legendary Jimmy Greaves, whose record of 266 goals has stood since 1970. With 10 goals from 14 appearances in all competitions so far this season, Kane is in perfect form, running at a rate of 0.72 goals per 90. It means that even if they dramatically implode in the Champions League, then lose their next FA Cup and League Cup fixtures, Spurs have a minimum of 34 games left this season. That's more than enough for Kane to reach his new milestone, with the England captain currently projected to score at least 24 more across the campaign. Once Greaves' record falls, then all eyes will be on the Alan Shearer haul of 260 goals in the Premier League. Currently on 192, Kane still has a lot of work to do, but with time on his side, it's certainly possible. 7. The most expensive English player ever. Following another highly impressive start to the season at Borussia Dortmund, Jude Bellingham has once again been subjected to a ton of transfer speculation, with Liverpool and Real Madrid the clubs most prominently linked with the Englishman's signature. And if he leaves Germany at the end of the season, it's possible he could well become the most expensive English player ever. Until 2019, no English player had cost over £50 million, with Raheem Sterling's move to Manchester City for that fee in 2015 holding the record. But Harry Maguire's £78 million switch to Manchester United that summer broke the benchmark, while Jack Grealish's £105 million move last year set an even loftier record. Given Maguire's troubled form over the last 12 months and Grealish's slow start in his first season at City, as well as numerous other high-profile examples including Lukaku, Hazard and Pogba, the case for spending upwards of £75 million on a highly rated player has arguably never been weaker. But considering just how strong Bellingham looks in a number of different areas of his game, the 19-year-old is guaranteed to bag Dortmund serious money when he eventually leaves. And if he does so next summer, BVB are rumoured to be after between 130 and 150 million euros for the prodigy, who already has 3 Champions League goals at the time of writing this term. But can you see Real Madrid or Liverpool spending that much money on the Englishman? Please do let us know in the comments below. 6. Spurs' naming rights. When Tottenham Hotspur opened their new state-of-the-art ground back in 2019, Daniel Levy made it clear that any naming rights deal for this £1 billion creation would only happen if they got the right brand in the right sector on the right money. If we can't meet those criteria, we won't do it, he told the press. 3 years on, and despite links with Uber, FedEx and Amazon, nothing has materialised. But that could be about to change after it was revealed that talks are ongoing with none other than Google. Spurs are discussing a potential £25 million a year naming rights deal with a technology titan that would eclipse Manchester City's current arrangement with Etihad as the most lucrative in English football. Talks are at an early stage, but Google have been getting active in the sports industry recently. They have a multi-year deal with the F1 racing team McLaren, plus commercial agreements with various NBA and Major League Baseball outfits. What's more, Tottenham's new chief financial advisor Todd Klein spearheaded the Miami Dolphins' £180 million stadium naming rights deal with Hard Rock in 2016. He knows what he's doing and could be set to make history once more with Spurs. 5. Arsenal's young Premier League player. Since May 2019, Harvey Elliott held the record for the youngest player ever to feature in the Premier League. Then, turning out for Fulham, the attacking midfielder stole the record off a fellow cottager in Matthew Briggs, who emerged off the bench at Wolves at the tender age of 16 years and 30 days. Given the physicality of the Premier League, it seemed unlikely that Elliott's record would be broken anytime soon. Yet Arsenal have shattered that boundary this season, making history by playing Ethan Nwaneri in the die moments of their 3-0 thrashing of Brentford. At 15 years and 181 days, the young midfielder became both the youngest player in the English top flight and Arsenal, taking that crown from none other than Cesc Fabregas. Remarkably, Nwaneri is almost a year younger than Fabregas when he made his own league debut for the Gunners. In fact, no top 5 division in Europe can boast a younger player in their history, with Mallorca's Luca Romero his closest competitor at 15 years and 219 days. How Nwaneri develops is yet to be seen, but wherever his career takes him, his place in the history books is secure. 4. The highest scoring African player in the Champions League. He may be enduring his worst start to a season in a Liverpool shirt, but Mo Salah still has the chance to break a record this term thanks to his excellent scoring form in the Champions League, where he averages a goal or an assist every 96 minutes. The Egyptian maestro has scored 5 in 3 group stage appearances, including a hat-trick away at Rangers, which takes his total tally in Europe's Premier competition to 41. That means he's now within touching distance of Didier Drogba's record of 44, the most for an African player in the Champions League. With Liverpool expected to advance to the knockouts, he has a chance to break Drogba's record this season. And while the Egyptian's numbers have dropped off slightly in the Prem, he's still averaging 3.7 shots per 90 in Europe, which matches up with his output in the previous 2 campaigns. Meanwhile, former teammate Sadio Mane is the closest active player to him on 26. Meaning he'll probably hold on to the title of the Champions League's most prolific African scorer for quite a while once he bags it. 3. The Premier League goals record. As things stand, Salah is almost certain to lose one of his most prestigious records this season. That's because a certain Erling Haaland has now entered the Premier League and is making a mockery of the English game with his superhuman goal-scoring ability. With 15 goals in just 10 appearances at the time of writing, the Norwegian marksman is averaging a strike every 50 minutes. For context, at his 2021 peak, Robert Lewandowski was scoring every 60 minutes in the Bundesliga. He's also already matched Cristiano Ronaldo, Didier Drogba and Jamie Vardy for Premier League hat-tricks in their career, and one more will bring him level with the aforementioned Salah. If he carries on his current place, Haaland will need just 20 appearances to break the goals record for a 38-game season set by Salah in 2018 with 32, and just 21 appearances to break the record held by Andy Cole and Alan Shearer for goals in a 42-game Prem campaign. Less than 3 months into his first season, and the 22-year-old is already securing legendary status. 2. The oldest manager to win Serie A. We don't want to jinx anything, but Luciano Spalletti is on course to become the oldest manager ever to win Serie A. Yes, it's very early days, but Napoli are arguably Europe's most exciting team. They've won 4 from 4 games in the Champions League and are unbeaten domestically with a 2-point lead in the table after 10 games. Their free scoring attack is so potent that only Lazio can match their goal difference of plus 16. Ironically, it's Lazio's boss Maurizio Sarri that Spalletti could steal the oldest manager crown from. Sarri won his only Scudetti with Juventus aged 61 and 198 days. Spalletti meanwhile turns 64 in March. Glory with Napoli would be a rich reward for the Italian, now in his 14th job in management. He's won 2 Russian Premier League titles in his days with Zenit and earned a couple of Coppa Italias with Roma, but has never finished higher than second in Serie A. But the usual suspects of Inter Milan and Juventus are flagging, while their closest competitor is currently Atalanta, led by a 64-year-old Gasparini. In short, this might be Spalletti's greatest opportunity to claim Italian football's ultimate prize. 1. The least goals in a season, both for and against. None of the records discussed so far in this list though come close to the absurdity of the one seemingly being chased by Preston North End, who have started the 2022-2023 campaign in extraordinarily dull form. After 15 games, of which they've drawn 7, the Lancashire outfit have scored just 7 goals and conceded just 10, despite beating Norwich 3-2 in one of their most recent outings. In their first 11 matches, they scored just 3 times and conceded only 4, owing to an opening 6 games, which featured 5 0-0 draws and 1 1-0 win. Ryan Lowe's side currently sitting 14th, just 3 points off a spot in the playoffs, but have done so by sustaining the least entertaining form ever seen in the English second tier. They're currently on course to score just 25 goals, which would beat the record set by Bolton for fewest scored in a championship season with 29 in 2018-19. But if they remain as tight at the back as they have been, they would also concede just 21 across the campaign, which would smash the record held by Watford and Preston themselves, who conceded 30 goals in 2021 and 2005-2006 respectively. That's not to say they play super conservative football either. They rank average for shots taken per game and concede a fair few too, so it would be a surprise if they continue to pull out goalless draws so frequently. Nevertheless, they've started the season in truly unique form. So that was our list of 10 records that could well be broken this season. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you later.